I am Curran Bhatia. I am speaking with Fabio Wardley. He's 8-0, 7 KOs. He's a heavyweight from the UK. So, Fabio, obviously, the first question is we know what's going on right now in the world, the global pandemic. It's caused a
Mm.
disruption in everyone's life. Where are you right now? And are you safe? Is everything good?
I'm in England. I'm in England. I'm safe. Everything's good here. I'm outside of London, so everything's a bit more relaxed where I am. I'm a bit away from kind of that more dense kind of chaos of everything that's been going on. So yeah, I'm good. I'm away. I'm just out of the way, just training, doing my thing.
And that's good that you're safe. In 2019, you were cruising. You had 3 wins, all by knockout, and then obviously with the global pandemic, it was halted, right? So was that tough
Mm.
for you in terms of losing that momentum?
It was, yeah, it wasn't necessarily tough. Like I've earned a lot in my career. I've had cancelled fights and things go wrong. And so I've kind of learned over time to just adapt to that. I've kind of built that resilience against it to just stay moving, stay training. Like you just take it for what it is and you keep going and you stay on job. So yeah, it wasn't the best case scenario. It could have been, things could have gone a lot better, but ultimately it is what it is. And there's no point whinging and whining about it. You just got to keep going.
Absolutely. And in terms of you keeping going, your fight August 1st, it's the return
Mm.
of Matchroom. It's the fight camp, the backyard brawls, if you will. So it will be almost a year since your last fight. Are you expecting any rust in there? Anything that, it might take a few rounds to get a little bit warmed up?
Not really, no. Like, obviously, over the time, I've been out of the ring by that time, yeah, it would have been a year, but I've been in gyms, I've been sparring, nothing's really changed other than training wise. So it's just doing it under the lights. There is that little, don't get me wrong, that's a bit different, but everything's still there. I haven't slacked off. I haven't taken any time off. I've always been training, always been working. So I'm just as ready. It's just doing it under the lights in front of the cameras.
And it will be under the lights in front of cameras, no crowd, obviously,
Mm.
because of what's going on. What do you know about the way that fight camp's going to look and be like? Have you heard anything about protocols and things like that?
I don't know too much in depth. We've been given a brief overview, so our team numbers that we're allowed to have with and travel with will be very limited. Will be a small kind of quarantine bubble that we'll have to stay in for a duration of time while we're up there. So we'll get up there, we'll get tested. We'll be in a quarantined hotel for a portion of time. So it all seems very kind of registered and regulated, and everything seems well looked after. Everyone's health is obviously top priority, making sure the boxers, the officials, everyone there is all well looked after. So it seems good. It's going to obviously be very different to what anyone's ever been used to before. It'll be a strange event, but it will be like it'll be good to say that you was part of something like that. Something when you look back in time in history and say like we as a boxing community powered through, even though in the middle of a pandemic, and still got to put on good boxing shows and got to come through that. It will be a good thing to say later down the line that I was a part of.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been saying this for a long time. It's important that we get these sports back as long as that it's safe. Top Rank
Mm.
and ESPN has been doing a great job, and now Matchroom. I'm sure they're going to have all the protocols, and I'm sure that they're going to keep it safe. And they get credit for being the innovative promoter for finding a way to make it happen because there is value in people getting entertainment during this time, escapism, right? Something to kind of take our mind off of everything going off in the world and watching people compete. So, in terms of your
Definitely.
opponent, you're taking on Simon Vallily. He's
Mm-hmm.
17-0. He campaigned for a long time at cruiserweight.
Yep.
And I know that you've said that you feel like this could be a come out party for you in a way. So why do you feel that it is your ninth professional fight? Why do you feel like it'll be a come out party for you?
The fights I've had in the past they've been good kind of building, challenging fights. We've been testing different aspects of me and my skills and stuff with a different variety of opponents, but not someone who's completely well rounded, who has a very extensive background, who's been in the program a long time. He's had double the professional fights of me. And he's had obviously a massive amateur background as well, winning Commonwealth gold medal. So he will be a good credit and a good measure for me to have on my records for people that may look at my record and say, oh, he's only fought people who have been losing or he's not fought the best opponents or however. When they see that name there, they see that scalp, they see that win, that will be my credit to say, look, I'm not a gimmick, I'm not a joke, I'm here for real, I'm a genuine contender. So that's how I feel it. That's how I feel that brings me into the party fully.
It definitely does, and it's going to be obviously a card that a lot of people watch. It's Matchroom coming back, and people are going to be tuned into this opportunity, this fight, and that's going to help your profile. In terms
Mm,
of your opponent, I mean, he says that he's going to be 100% ready. There's no excuses in terms of training or things like that, and I know that you are happy about that, right? Because you don't want any
mm.
excuses from the other side.
No, not at all. With Simon in the past, for anyone that knows of him or knows him in the past, he's had issues with training and stuff. Maybe he's not always been so dedicated to the sport or into his training and this and that. So cool. So if he's saying that he's 100% fit, he's 100% ready, like it's the best camp ever, everything that he's saying, perfect. That's just more for me. That's more for me to say that when this is all over, said and done, and my hand is raised, that you can't take anything from me. You can say, everyone will have to say, like, nah, he stepped up, he took that challenge. Simon was the best Simon he could be, and Fab won. So I want all of that. I want you to be in the best shape. I don't want any excuses when it comes on fight night.
And it will be a great matchup, you versus Simon Vallily. And you guys were featured on Rivals through Matchroom
Mm.
Boxing with Eddie Hearn. And when Eddie asked Simon for his thoughts on the fight and fighting you, Simon said he won't see the final bell. He's going to sleep. So what is your response to Simon Vallily saying that?
I say everyone else has tried and everyone else has failed, and they've all gone to sleep themselves. So he can come forward, he can step. And that's what I need. I need someone there. Like all my fights that I've had in the past, I've been the aggressor. I've been the pressure of the fight, and I want people to see that you can step onto me and I can counter and move, and it's going to be just the same outcome whether you want to step forward or I take control. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It looks like you're looking forward to the fight, but also the measuring stick, just to show what you can do against a tough opponent. And on top of that, there is a regional title at stake here, right? The English heavyweight title. So what is that going to mean for you, getting that first title?
Again, that adds to the bit of I was saying about this being my coming out party, my real test. That's my first bit of real credibility to say he had a good opponent and he's won a belt, and I'm there now. I'm in the rankings. I'll be high up. I'll be next to all them big boys. So that will be my first real catapult up there, and when I can start aiming for them bigger fights and stuff, that's what I'll be. That's what I'm hunting for, and that's what we're in this game for. It's for them belts, it's for them titles, for them accolades to wave about and show no and say like, no, look, I did this, like I did that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And anyone who wants to get pumped for this fight, watch the episode of Rivals. You can learn about each guy, and you'll definitely get pumped up for this August 1st clash. It's a big heavyweight fight, and it's definitely going to be a great one there with Matchroom and Backyard Boxing. So on your last fight, this was in July of 2019. You were at the O2 Arena. And between rounds, you mentioned to one of your coaches that you were looking forward to getting Five Guys burgers now after
Yeah,
the fight. Now I've actually been to that Five Guys at the O2 Arena. They're very generous
yeah,
with the fries, which is
yeah.
great. So let me ask you this: what did you end up getting at Five Guys after you knocked your opponent out that night?
I got my usual. I got two double cheeseburgers and a large fries. Yeah, I went straight thereafter. It was the best thing. I love it, and especially when we're at the O2 as well, because it's just you just go out the back door quickly, you get there, and then you go back with the food. It's just there straight away. So yeah, it's the perfect setup.
No, it's right there. And so just in terms of you saying that in the corner, I mean, it was an interesting moment, and it showed to me at least that you were obviously relaxed in there. You were able to kind of do what you wanted to do, kind of looking ahead. Is that how you were feeling at the moment, that you kind of were in control and you knew that the fight, things were going well?
Yeah, definitely. It's something I do regularly, but like I pick different things. It's something me and my team have always had. Whenever we've had fights, it's something I do and I use for us to kind of bring us back to a level. Because especially with like the big shows that we fight on and the big cars and being somewhere like the O2 Arena, the whole venue, the whole occasion, and everything can get to you. It can get in your head, and I use those type of things to just be like, nah, everyone chill. Remember why we're here. Enjoy the moment, because when we look back, we're gonna like obviously say how great it was, but while we're here, soak everything in, enjoy that. Everyone stay calm, relax. Like we know the game, we know the plan, we've trained hard, we know what we're doing. Just enjoy the moment.
And so I know that this fight, obviously not at the O2, but I'm sure that you'll still have access to some good fast food. Are you planning to get some good fast food after the fight on August 1st?
Yeah, always. We're gonna see what's available. I think I might have to stick to whatever the hotel can offer me, but either way, I'm getting something after.
And I was doing some research about you, and I read that you used to actually work in an office, but it was the feeling of being out there with the crowd cheering for you, and that really helped you kind of dedicate yourself towards boxing and realize this is what you wanted to do full time. So, what was the turning point for you?
It was when I had my professional debut. So while I was training, I was working a full time job in an office. So I was doing 40 plus hours a week, and then training alongside that as well. And I was doing them both. And obviously, I had absolutely no other part of my life whatsoever. It was work boxing, work boxing. And I finally had my pro debut, and I had that. And there was just like this one moment where I stood in the ring, my hand was raised, and I was like, "Nah, this is it for me. This is my moment. This is." I can feel it in me that this is all I want to do, and that I need to put everything into it. So yeah, a few weeks later, in fact, I quit the job. I let that go, and I just put everything into boxing.
And it seems like that has been definitely a good decision so far. So I know that you've actually been described as Dillian White's protege. So what is your relationship like with Dillian White?
Good, fantastic. Like mine and Dill's relationship started through sparring, just on a normal basis, just us being. I was a good sparring partner. I was useful to him, and I helped him out with a lot of stuff. And over time, it just progressed, and we got closer and closer. The more time we spent around each other, we just got on well from the start, really. And then obviously the opportunity came where I no longer had a management team, and I had obviously a space for a new manager, and he took that slot. And it just, as soon as that happened, everything just hit the roof. Everything went up, and it's been a non-stop ride since then. And it's been great to have him in my corner for everything, and have him right there behind me for anything that I need. So yeah, our relationship is fantastic. He's the perfect person I would want to have to manage me, because he's done it all, and he's done it a similar way to what I've done it, through like grinding at the beginning, through them small hall shows where you have to grind and sell them tickets and get that money in, and before you're even allowed to fight on the show. So he knows that grind, and he knows where I was before obviously I had the opportunity to fight on the big shows with him and stuff. So yeah, I'm forever thankful, forever grateful to him.
And speaking of White and Matchroom, I mean, White has his own opportunity against Alexander Povetkin. That's on August 22nd. What do you make of that matchup, White versus Povetkin, and how do you think that will play out?
I think it's a great match. I think it's a great match, and I think again it's a credit to Dylan as who he is as a fighter and who he is as a boxer, that he's still willing to, even with that opportunity said for him obviously next year with the WBC and stuff, he's still willing to take them risky fights, take them potential banana skin kind of fights that might slip him up. But he loves it. He loves to fight. He loves to walk. So that's his character. That's his soul. So you always knew that was coming, and I think it's going to be a great fight. Like, you've never really seen a boring Povetkin fight, and you've definitely never seen a boring Dylan White fight. So I think them two coming together, they'll meet in the middle, and they'll swing some big bombs.
And that's definitely going to be a great scrap. A lot of great fights coming up on the Matchroom roster, and I think we're all looking forward to those. So I wanted to ask you, before I let you go, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the heavyweight division right now. It's obviously a stacked division, a golden era, if you will. I saw that you actually sparred with one of the people at the top of the division, and that's Tyson Fury. So what was that like, training with Tyson Fury and sparring with Tyson Fury?
Yeah, it was good, really good. Him, his team, and everything. Was really nice. I knew Ben Davison previously really well from when he used to manage different fighters. So me and Ben always had a previous relationship, and then obviously the opportunity came to spar with Tyson and stuff, and we jumped at that. That was a fantastic opportunity, and he's such a character, and he's exactly how you see him on TV and in the shows and on the fight nights and stuff. He's no different in the ring sparring or just in the normal camp of the gym training. He's exactly the same character. So there's nothing particularly fake about him. And it's nice to be around someone who's genuine like that, and obviously learn from such a great boxer.
And in terms of sparring and boxing, I mean, you're a large heavyweight, you're 6'5", 230, 240 pounds, But Tyson Fury is even larger. He's 6'9". I think in his last fight against Wilder in the rematch, I think he came in at 273 pounds. So he's a large man, but he can move and he can box. What did you learn from sparring with him and just seeing his movement from someone that size, which is very uncommon, right?
Yeah, it's massively uncommon. Like, especially with me, I'm quite a fast heavyweight. So I'm used to being able to at least get in there, get into the punch first, or moving quicker than the other person. But being with him, everything's kind of thrown on his head. Not only is he's so big and strong and powerful, and he's got rangy and long arms, that he's light on his feet, he's quick on his feet, and he can move. The upper body moves as well. So it was a really difficult start, but it was nice to kind of learn the different things that if someone's faster than you, that you need to work your way in. You can't just expect to get there first. You need to kind of pry them openings and things. So yeah, and it was good, and it was nice to be around them, because him, even Ben as well, would obviously give me little tips and advice and stuff. So I was just trying to soak in everything that I could.
And just for you and your confidence, I'm sure that if you can hang in there with one of the champions, that that bodes well for your future. Another fighter that you sparred with a little bit on the smaller end was Alexander Usyk. Now we know that he was reigning at cruiserweight for a long time. He's now coming up to campaign at heavyweight, a totally different stylistic fighter than Fury. So what was it like sparring with Usyk, and what did you learn from that experience?
Again, it was a fantastic experience. That first time I sparred with Usyk was the first time I'd gone away to a camp to a different country. I flew to Ukraine on my own, and just kind of turned up and didn't know what to expect really. But his whole team and everyone there was so nice and welcoming, and really like looked after me and stuff. And the first night of sparring was great. Like, we really went to it. It was great to be involved in them, and not just the sparring, but then afterwards just sit and watch and see all the other things that he does that you're probably aware of, like with the numbers on the wall and the different types of juggling and things like that, and like pick him and his team's brains as to why they do it, how it relates. Like, it was just nice to be there, and just I was in awe of just kind of everything that was going on, and I'm really thankful to be a part of it. So yeah, it was cool. It was a great experience, and obviously, luckily, I've been thankful to go out there a couple of times now. So.
Absolutely. Him, Vasily Lomachenko, others always doing the unorthodox type of training. And I'm sure that helps them elevate to that top level. So we talked about Tyson Fury and Usyk in the heavyweight division. I mean, it is a golden era. Obviously at the top, we have Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder in that conversation. Ruiz was in that conversation. So in terms of the names in the heavyweight division, I mean, who do you think in your mind is at the top right now?
I think right now you have to put Fury up there, for a number of reasons. Obviously, he took on the boogeyman of the division, Deontay Wilder. Obviously, got rid of him. Still undefeated. And I think he is the most well-rounded, whole, complete boxer that is out there at the moment. Everyone is in that top 3, 4, 5 has their great aspects, their things they're good at. They think like devastating punches, great work ethic, whatever it may be. But he's the one that has that kind of whole well-roundedness. So I think he would be at the top for me.
And with these names that we mentioned, I know that you've only had 8 professional fights, so it's probably a little early to step in with them now. But who is the guy at the top of the pack that you want to step in with, and that you feel that you would match up best against?
Yeah, I think I'm still a ways off them top boys yet, but probably someone like Joshua would be more ideal for me. Someone who's a bit more rigid, a bit slower, a bit bigger as well, because I can work with those bigger guys and work around them and use my skills to my advantage, my speed, my light feet, being able to move around. So yeah, someone like him who's a bit stiffer, a bit slower would feed more into me.
And what are your goals in this sport ultimately? I mean, obviously, I'm sure heavyweight champion is on your mind. Do you hope to become a champion? Do you want to be a unified champion? I mean, what are your overall goals in the sport of boxing?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not in this to play games. I'm in this to learn. I understand where I am. I know what level I'm at currently, but I'm in this to get to the top. I'm in this to hold all them belts and really make my mark in this division and a staple, and make my name like a well-known name across boxing, that he did this and he challenged that person and he did that. And I'm still at the very, very early stages of it all. But that's the ultimate end goal.
Absolutely. And you're definitely well on your way there. So just a few more questions to close it out. For fans and supporters who are still maybe getting to know you, what would be your message to them? What would you want to say to people who are maybe still learning about a little bit about you?
Just take the time, watch my fights, and learn, and just see that I'm a bit different to all these heavyweights out there. That I'm not upright, slow, and slugger. I put the work in. I'm high pace, high pressure, and I'm quick on my feet and light with my hands. So, yeah, it's someone exciting to watch if you were looking for that new kind of spark in the heavyweight division.
And we mentioned August 1st, Simon Vallily. That's your next test. We got his prediction. He said he wants to put you to sleep. What is your official prediction for your fight versus Simon Vallily?
My official prediction is a KO, like all the rest of my fights. I'll figure him out early. First round or two, I'll take my time. I'll figure out what's going on, figure out strengths and weaknesses, and then over time, I'll break him down, and he'll be asleep on the floor by the end of it.
He'll be asleep on the floor, and I'm sure you'll be getting some good food at that point. So just last question, final message to your opponent, Simon Vallily. You're going to see him on August 1st. If he's listening right now, what do you want to say to him?
Simon, train hard, sleep well, get ready. I'm coming.
Absolutely. So Fabio Wardley, I want to thank you so much for the time. Best of luck in your next fight against Simon Vallily. It's August 1st. It's the Matchroom Fight Camp. It's heavyweight fight. And Fabio, I want to thank you so much for the time. And I'm sure that you're someone that we're going to be seeing along the way here for a long time. You're only 25 years old. So I hope to speak to you again soon as you continue on your journey.
Definitely appreciate that. Thank you, Curran.
Thank you.